Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 17 of our All the Mods 9 to the Sky Let's Play series. Where today we are getting our mob farm set up. It works really good, fantastic. I love it. And yeah, let's get started. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful day, or, well, evening, night, here in the world of TheAndrata, where today, well, we are going to get into that mob farm that we were supposed to work on last episode, that we kind of got sidetracked on our mechanism for. So, yeah, let's get ourselves started with that bad boy. So, our mechanism system has been working fantastically. As you can see here, I went ahead and upgraded each of them up to the basic tier. I taught the system how to make everything Minecraft mechanism. As you can see here, we have all of the speed and the energy upgrades. We have the tier installers. We have all of the different pipes and everything from mechanism. We've got all the stuff. All the alloys are in the system. We can craft everything mechanism for the most part. And it's been working well. Our automation has been doing its thing. We're sitting at 64 carbon, redstone, almost 64 diamond. Currently working on the refined or the enriched obsidian. So the diamond is going to get processed or used as we go. So it's going to have to make a few. But yeah, it's working pretty good. The basic tier installers for mechanism, if you've never used it before, they are fairly cheap to make, and they allows it to process 3 recipes at once. There's also an advanced, there is an elite, and there is a ultimate. And each one of those adds on to how many slots it can do. With the ultimate, I believe, being able to process 9 recipes at a time. Caveat with that being is it's also going to use 9 times as much power. So power is a thing. Let's go ahead and turn auto sort onto this so that it can process all those. But yeah, I think that we're doing pretty good. And look, we've already got 64 here and 64 there. Like because we have it sped up, it's doing its thing. We no longer have any requests and we're chilling. And then over here, we have our crusher, which I also upgraded, which has no recipes currently, but it is doing its thing. So yeah, I like this. It's automated. It's set up. We don't have to worry about it ever again, other than to put recipes and patterns inside of it to make it do its thing. So last episode we had left off. We were trying to make our stuff, and we ran into a bottleneck because we couldn't make our tinted glass because we needed this obsidian dust and we need some coal dust. And in order to get the coal dust, we have to crush it. So I never did teach the system how to make the coal dust. So let's go ahead and get that. It'll be our first pattern over here in our crusher. Wow. Now our crusher, I'm torn between whether I want to utilize the crusher or I want to utilize the pulverizer. Because the pulverizer can be augmented and sped up. I don't know if I mentioned that I upgraded all these, but I did. To be faster than it currently is, but the crusher can also be upgraded to the ultimate tier and have 9 crafts going all at once. So I guess we'll see what happens if it becomes a bottleneck. It's as easy as moving the recipes from here to here because the crusher, I'm pretty sure, is able to handle all of the pulverizer recipes. The pulverizer cannot handle all of the crusher recipes, though. But for now, we'll leave it as is, and we'll see if thermal gets eclipsed by mechanism, as is almost always the case. So anyway, we're going to get 128 of these guys. It's going to craft all this up for us, so that way we have enough. Do we need 128? No. 64 is probably all that we need, TBH, but we'll have extra. I do want to go ahead and turn off. I love the sound of mechanism, but I also hate the sound of mechanism, so we're going to turn off all the machines. I do have speed upgrades installed in these, 8 speed and 8 energy. Do not do just one. I mean, you can do just energy, but do not do speed if you do not do energy upgrades. The speed upgrades take a bunch of energy. If you didn't have the energy upgrades in there, making it more efficient, you'd be utilizing a ton of energy. Specifically, you'd be utilizing 6,000 RF per tick to try and run this. Whereas we install our energy upgrades, we are now using 600. So it is a quite significant reduction in cost there. Yeah. Anyway, so that's doing its thing, and then we should have tinted glass coming in. So with this tinted glass, we now, along with the stuff that we had shoved into our nice and handy-dandy backpack, oh, I guess I have an extra recipe for tinted glass. Didn't need that. Can I shift-click to clear that? Yes, I can. Now that we have the tinted glass, we can go ahead and craft up the thing. Does tinted glass, if I break it, do I get it back? I do, which is lovely. I I understand why glass breaks and you don't get it back, but it's also very convenient when you do. So we have that going for us, which is great. Let me clear off my to-do list here because I made all these and took screenshots of the things that we needed for thumbnails, so we're good. So that was tinted glass. The last thing that we're going to need for this is an ender inhibitor. What this does is going to stop endermen from being able to teleport. Then we're going to need an experience crystal. Experience crystal is going to require us to make another force rod from Forcecraft. Should be fairly simple. By the way, the latest version of the mod pack did change Forcecraft to be has a resource pack added on. It says specifically that it makes Forcecraft less banana, whatever that means. It just makes it less yellowy. Oh, this makes 3 bottles. Oh, because efficiency 3 is going to make 3 bottles of enchanting. That's fine. Oh, well, okay. I don't know what I just did there, but I did it. Anyway, we got an experience crystal, and apparently we're going to end up needing more concrete, but we can handle that with a little bit of EMC, okay? Also, by the way, if I remember, EMC has been, more things were added to being EMCable. Glass is now EMCable. That's fantastic. Definitely want to get that going. Not that we don't have a glass, but we only have 45 glass. You know what? I saw it. Let's do it. We added more things to EMC. Do I like that? Yes and no. I mean, I like it because it makes things easier for me. But it does feel slightly cheaty to be able to do it. But again, glass is I just need to make sand and then put it in a smelter to make it. So it's really not that bad. Let's pop over to these two and see what did I have cooking. Blaze rods are still going. And I did string because we didn't have any string. Let's turn string off. Let's get as much of that out of here as I can. Control Shift click to fill out your slots, by the way, if you've never done that before, and then move all of the same item into your inventory all at once. Could I import this? Absolutely, but then I have to change it every single time, and it's just a lot of work. And as TheAndrata says, I don't want to do work. Glass, that's what I want. Let's get glass. Just make as much glass as you can. That's perfectly fine. Okay. So that takes care of that. We have the experience crystal. The only other thing that we don't have is a player transmitter. We will probably get this episode. I got the aerial pearl that we're going to need. So let's pop over to our mob farm. Not pretty, but it's going to work. Though this is kind of pretty. I kind of sort of set this up nicely. Let's get back home. I need to get some levers. If we're going to set this up properly, let's do it properly so I don't have to keep teleporting back and forth. There's that. We also are going to need a trash can. We are going to need item pipes will be able to handle everything. Yes, we're probably going to want from pipes, we're going to want to be able to filter with pipes. So we're going to need an ultimate pipe upgrade, which is going to require us to go through the chain of pipes. Maybe we're going to want this. I honestly don't know. I'm just going to grab it anyway, and we'll see where we end up with life. Craft all the things. Okay. Pipe upgrade. All right, let's head over to the mob farm now. So over here, this is 1,000 blocks from our base. You can see. Okay, I just flew out. And then I made an angel block. It's actually pretty cheap. Angel block is just gold and then feathers and obsidian. And the angel block just allows you to place a block anywhere in the world, right? You don't have to worry about, placing it. So we had an angel block. I built this out. This is a 15-15 platform. Honestly, specs of this doesn't matter. What matters here is this is 5 by 5. So we have 5 by 5, and then it's a 5 height. And I also want to change this over to this kiwi. So I utilize this kiwi because I figured, it's a mob farm. And so we would want to have, a dark looking block because, bad mobs, dark. Yeah, I guess. So I utilized this kiwi to do so and made it look kind of nice. I don't like the cobblestone. I was going to say I don't know if I like the cobblestone. I know I don't. We'll probably exchange this out for something else at some point, but this is what really matters. So anyway, so we have a 5 by 5 of dirt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 5 of dirt that we're going to convert over to our cursed earth at some point. We'll do the golden egg later, but we're going to do the cursed earth first. Before we begin, let's get everything that we would want inside of this set up, though, so that way we can, not have to worry about doing it live. So we're going to get a mob fan. We're going to set a mob fan here. We're also going to set a mob fan up into the ceiling, but we want it to face the other direction. So I should probably do it from up here. Oh, can you face down? I want you to point down. Is that a thing? Yes. Okay, so I need a block above it. All right. I want this guy to face down because you never know. We might get some mobs that could be flying. It, honestly, probably not going to be an issue. It's more for the passive mob farm when you get those little drigmy spawning. But just in case, we will have a fan up top that is going to allow us to push mobs down to the ground. And then this fan will have them come right on into our mob masher. Okay? Pretty simple. So the mob masher, what's going to happen? Mobs are going to spawn. Bada bing, bada boom. They're going to come over here. This fan is going to push them. We're going to show the area. Oh, no, the fan can only push up to that high. So what we have to do is set up some upgrades, which is why we taught the system how to make different upgrades. Let's go ahead and see. We need to expand this by 2. So if I pop back home, this one needs expanded by 2 as well in all directions. Yeah. Let's go ahead and go with Mob Grinding Utilities. And we don't need distance on our fans. They are pushing far enough. We need width, right? I think we need width. And let's just make, well, set a max of 3. So let's get 6 of each of these. And we'll just grab 6 height as well. And we'll see where that gets us, right? I mean, we'll put 1 in at a time and see what happens here. So is it height? Do I need height? If I max out the height, it can go up to there. Okay. And then if I max out the width, it expands to cover the entire box. Okay, good. That's what I want. And then we'll do the same here. And it expands out to cover the entire box, including the edges, but that's fine. Doesn't really make a difference. So now what we'll have is the fan's going to push mobs this way, and this fan is going to push mobs down. And then they should all end up going towards the mob masher. One other thing that we might want to get is, I would want, mobs are going to spawn, or they might end up over here, and then they won't get pushed over here. And I don't know if I want to use vector plates, because if I use vector plates, it would be covering up. That's one less area for them to spawn. So what if I got 2 more fans? And I just had 2 more fans chilling out on the side. Let's do that. I said we wanted to grab everything so that way we had it all, but then I end up, thinking of new things that we need and not having it all. That's okay, though. Mob fans. We're going to set up a mob fan here, and then we're going to set up a mob fan here. These take forever to break, by the way. Set up a mob fan here. There we go. We're also going to need to get ourselves 2 more levers because you have to activate these with a lever. And you can leave them on all the time. I mean, I guess you could use redstone too. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get our mob masher, get him upgraded with the beheadings and the sharpness. You can also upgrade him with fortune, lighting him on fire. There's smite and then the spider one that you can do, but we don't need to worry about that. And I think, honestly, that's everything we are going to need for the mob mashing portion of things. The only other thing that we are going to need to handle is setting up, mob drops and everything. So if we go ahead and we get all of our fans all ready to go. Now, those 2 fans that we put at the front, we don't need to necessarily worry about because their areas are going to overlap. So they are literally just covering this area. And if I come in here and I were to turn these on, I will then get pushed into the fans. So be very careful with this because that mob masher, it does not care that you are the player. All it knows is that it needs to mash, and that's what it's going to do. I can't even get in here right now because those fans are so effective. So once I turn the mob masher on, oh geez, that's actually, it's pushing me down here. Once I turn the mob masher on, you're going to see it runs, and if I were to go into there, I'd be mob mash minced meat. So we don't want to go into the mob masher. So we're going to turn off all these levers and everything. And then we will take care of turning them all on later. But just be very careful with this. You know what would be nice to be able to do would be able to create redstone links. But that would require me to get into create, yeah. Brass ingot. Is that an induction smelt recipe? Can I make brass dust outside of create? I could. We could set up redstone links so I can have one button to control all this and set them all up onto the same channel. I think we'll look into that after we get it all going. That way I don't have to have this. I could just have a redstone link here with a button or a lever to turn it on and then turn everything off, and I don't have to fly around and control all those. We'll look into that after we get this going. Okay, so what we want to do, this is currently not lit up. We want it to be lit up for the moment so that it doesn't spawn anything. If I F7 this, we have mobs that are going to spawn over here. So let's go ahead and light this up, and then we can go ahead and place our rotten dirt down. As long as it is lit up, no mobs are going to spawn. So we don't have to worry about, that. So let's go ahead and get our tinted glass going here. Leaving myself a space so I can get out of here. Or go back in. Okay. So now I can go in, break the torch, and then we'll be able to leave. So we have this set up here. So what's going to happen? This is going to spawn, or mobs are going to drop loot. They are also going to drop experience. So what we're going to utilize is an absorption hopper. The absorption hopper is going to handle both of those. We're going to turn on the area, and we want to see where is this going to be set up. We need to shift it to the east a little bit. So we're going to go shift to the east, and then we want to have it go, oh, nope, not north, up. Up one more. And that should encompass the entire location. Yes. Okay. We're going to want to get an ender inhibitor. Now, this stops Enderman from being able to teleport from 8 blocks away. It can be attached to any side of solid blocks. The question is if I attach it here, is it going to, yeah, like it could stop mobs from getting stuck there. So I don't want to put it there. It got picked up by the absorption hopper. If I put it here, it says 8 blocks away, so I'm going to assume that should, like it's an 8 block radius, that would cover any Enderman spawning in here, so we don't have to worry about it. So there's our Ender inhibitor. And then we're going to want to get experience coming in and out of this, and we're going to want to get our stable wormhole set up so that it can, send the items. Now with the stable wormhole, I think I'm going to go ahead, we'll leave the stable wormhole at home. Let's just go ahead and get Ender chests set up. And then we don't have to worry about the stable wormhole because we will utilize ender chests. So ender pouch, 2 of these, and 2 of these. Now the ender tanks, I am going to want to change the color because we want, its experience. So we're going to use green for green dye. Or green dye to make them green to represent experience. But what we're going to do temporarily, we will just have the one sit here. And what we can do is dye it. So we come over here and we look at the bands. No? Oh, yeah, we shift click on the bands. And now we can see that's green, green, green. This is a green tank. Okay. So we want to match that on the other side. So we're going to come over here to our absorption hopper. We can turn the area off and we'll set this up over here. And we'll say you are also going to be a green tank. Okay. So now these are linked together, green to green. And then on the other side, a white ender chest is going to sit over here. And we are going to say, okay, on the south side is where it's going to send items. But before we send items, actually, I want to filter these because there's certain items that I don't want, namely armors and stuff like that, right? I don't need all kinds of armor, all kinds of things like that. That's what I would want to filter out of this. Trying to think what would be the best way to do that. What if instead of, I'm thinking maybe if we utilize laser IO and then used a tag upgrade for like tags of like armor. I want like the ability totems and stuff, but armor and stuff I don't necessarily care for. I know there's the armory chests and everything, but I don't need any of the armor that's going to be coming off of these mobs. So I don't want that necessarily. So let's see. Maybe would laser IO be better for this? And then I can filter into the trash can. Probably a good idea. So a laser node or two, and I have all my cards. Okay, so off of this, the absorption hopper, we are going to have a laser node, and the laser node will pull from here. Okay, and the laser node is going to be hooked up to a ender chest and a trash can. Okay. Don't necessarily like the look of this setup, but it is what it's going to have to be to get this to work. Okay. So our absorption hopper is going to be able to output items to the south. So let's make sure that the south is set to items, which means that the north is going to be experience. Okay. Fluid. That's going to go into there. Now, the laser node should be able to pull from the absorption hopper, right? So let's get our item cards. And we're going to say, okay, from here, you are going to extract the items. And you can just extract on a white. That's fine, because we're going to filter on here. We're going to say you are going to insert, but your insert is going to be filtered. We're going to get a laser IO, and we want a tag filter. So let's pop back home again. Tag filter from laser IO should be fairly simple to craft. Should teach the system how to make all the laser IO stuff since I utilize it so often. But we're going to insert here a tag filter. And the tag, we just need to get like, let's see, for example, swords. Any kind of forged swords can get smelted up or filtered out. Forged tools can also be voided. Okay. And that's going to allow that to insert into there. I guess the only thing that I want to make sure is I would need to make sure I am extremely careful over here in this area that I do not drop my sword or any of my tools, because those will get picked up and then immediately trash canned. Maybe what I should do is blacklist. I wonder if this is going to blacklist diamond swords, or is it going to blacklist my sword specifically? Let's find out. So let's get a diamond sword. And then while we're here, we can grab a helmet and see what kind of tags are on a helmet. Because like forged armor, I don't know, is that a thing? So if I were to put a diamond sword in here, yeah, see, it's filtering on the sword, not the specific tag. So if I get rid of that, it should pull that. You are set to extract from there, and you are set to insert. You are allowing swords and tools, but it's not working. Is it because, again, this is not an actual inventory? But this is an inventory, so it should be able to just pull from this, right? Extract. You are from the south. Huh. Why you not want to work? What if you know what, let's set the insert on to here then. Now it did it. Maybe that needs to be on a whitelist then. Because now the diamond, oh no, the diamond sword did go into the trash can. And we want the trash can's insert to have a higher priority, right? Extract, it did take it. Where did it go? Oh, it went into here. Okay, so it did go into here, duh, because I don't have anything going into the system yet. Why didn't it go into there? It went into here again. Is this the filter on this? Is it a, does it have to match all of the tags? I mean, that should match all the tags. So why are you not allowing the insert into there? Oh, duh, because TheAndrata's dumb and he had that set to extract the whole time. Now it's going to go into the trash. But it still didn't do it. Okay, I mean, TheAndrata was dumb, but it still didn't work. Insert, priority 1. Yeah, we want it to have a higher priority. We'll just set it to priority 10 and see what happens. Still goes into there. Why are you doing that? Huh. All right, let me fiddle with this for a minute. Okay. So I changed it up a little bit. First things first, I didn't realize I had set that to whitelist, so it was only allowing those things. But now it's set to blacklist. But I also changed it so that on the ender chest, it is set to the. I moved the filter over to here, and it is going to deny allowing any of those things to come into here. So now none of those should ever come into here because it's not allowed into the ender chest. So I think that is the play. So we kind of want to go ahead and do this, and we can say, okay, forge armor. Add that. I think that'll work. So now if I put this diamond helmet in there, it should have ended up going into the trash can. Okay, so now items will come into the ender chest. So the only other thing that we need to take care of finally is popping back home and getting our ender chest set up with a importer. We'll handle the liquids portion of it later. We're not going to get so much of that it's that big of a deal. But we want to go ahead and get our ender chest set up so that items can pipe back into this. And the easiest way to do that, I mean, we could... I was going to say we could tap into this and just set like a pipe into this, but we could actually. Honestly, we could set this here. It's going to mess everything up for a second. Let me get my pipe wrench here. No, face the proper direction, please. Thank you. We are going to set you to do nothing, and it's probably got items in it yet. Nope. Okay. We're going to set you to extract. So now anything will extract right into our stable wormhole. Yeah? Should. I think that'll work. What I don't want it to do is extract into the trash can. But if we put the upgrade in here, we should be able to say nearest first, right? And the nearest inventory is the stable wormhole, so nothing else should be allowed to go. I put the kiwi in here. Did it end up in the system? I think so. So there's 58 kiwi bricks. 60. Yeah, okay. So we're working. Put the tinted glass in there. And we should have all this stuff working. This should be good to go now, right? And it's going to extract full stacks at a time. Okay. Good. All right. So it's working. Whew. All right. So now with that done, we can actually pop back over to our mob farm and turn this bad boy on. And we should start, having mobs spawning. So we can go ahead and unlight it up. We actually need the tinted glass, at least 2 of them, to finish that off. And if we turn the light off, we should start having mobs spawn. Yeah, see? Got baby Enderman. What is that? That is not my idea of fun. All right, so we've got that one on. We're just going to push them there. This one on. We're just going to push them into the middle. We'll go ahead and turn the top one on. Probably a good idea for us to light up the top of this so that mobs don't spawn up here. The top one's going to push anything that could happen to fly down, and that's going to push them all forward. So now we should all see them bunched up on the mob masher. Then, as soon as I come down here and I get into here and I activate that, mobs are doing the thing. The mob masher is doing its thing. And let's go ahead and turn our magnet off because I'm picking things up and I don't want to. Yeah, there we go. Mobs are spawning. We're getting things. It's all going into the system like it's intended to, and we are getting stuff. Yeah, I like it. Probably going to be prudent for us to, first off, we won't be here very often, so I'm not going to worry about... Okay, I thought we had sharpness. Like, why is this guy taking so long to die? So the Enderman teleported to the Ender inhibitor. So he got stuck in the wall is what happened. Okay, so let's get some light in here and then turn this stuff off. So it looks like the ender inhibitor it forces them to teleport to my location, or the ender inhibitor's location. And so it got stuck in the wall, and that's why it was taking damage. It wasn't actually getting mob mashed. So let's go ahead and put this thing on the inside then. So now they should get teleported to here and then hopefully get mashed up. And my stuff went over to here. Tinted glass. I don't know how much I need. So now mobs will start spawning again. Yes. There we go. Okay. So now we can flip all our switches, and this switch flipping is going to be a pain. So definitely we're going to look into, are you the one that's pushing me? Oh, we have slimes. What are you popping out for? I don't like that either. No, you're not the one that pushes me, down. Okay, you are. Let's get some of those heights out of there. There we go. Now I'm not going to get affected by that one pushing me. Okay, so hide the area. Now we can turn that on. And that should be all of them running, yes. Except for this one. See, now the Enderman spawned there, and he's standing on top of that. So I guess I need a mob fan. I would need a mob fan here. Or what if I just put the ender inhibitor like right on the floor? All right, I'm going to have to play with the positioning of that to stop this from happening. And look, he teleported. Now he got stuck in the wall again. And now the slime has jumped on top of there too. So that's definitely not what I want. Maybe that would help. Anyway, either way, we are ending up with items coming into the system. Ender Tot Charm Fragment. What is that? But what I want to see coming in is my chunk loading. Chunk load this whole area. I don't like that. The slimes is a pain. I don't know if I necessarily like that the slimes can pop out of there too. Back to what I was trying to do before. Let's overclock this so that it can transfer everything as fast as it absolutely can. So that way nothing's sitting in here. And okay, finally, if we go home, we should have items spawning into here. What I want to see is, are we getting ability totems from these guys? It does not seem to be the case, but maybe we just haven't gotten lucky, or maybe it only comes off of passive mobs, which is our goal for next episode, is to duplicate this setup and get a passive mob farm set up. So yeah, if you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Tips, tricks, suggestions. I think that this is going to work pretty good. I'm going to get this ender chest. We're going to link it up with that crystal over there. Ooh, hello. So that all of the experience just goes into one, and then we just have one massive experience dump for everything that goes into there. So that way we're just constantly accruing experience and everything. So we don't need this experience crystal, actually. It ended up being an extra. But yeah, anyway, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.